Good morning. Welcome to Spy Money. What a night. Look at that big sell-off on ES. Now, what you have to remember is we are actually in a channel on this, and so don't be too alarmed yet. So right here is the bottom of that weekly trend that we keep referring back to. And if we go back to it, that is this trend right here. Okay, so we're actually right there now, and we keep going from here up to here. And then, but our actual channel is from right there down to here. So we're going from 2652 down to about 2374. So it's a huge channel. So if we go back to our hourly and we look at this, and we are looking, see right there. So our channel is going from right here to right there. That's the one we pulled out. And it's coming down. Now it's bouncing off of this trend line, which is your weekly trend, that bottom trend that we've been looking for several weeks. And now it's kind of bouncing back and forth to there. It's coming down. Looks like we hit our halt this morning at about around midnight or so, midnight 1 o'clock. We halted. So when this opens up, it will probably come down and touch this, maybe a little bit below. And then what I think is when we hit that, then it will just go back up to here. So if you're in puts overnight, which I actually scalped some puts right here, and I was concerned that we would actually come down and hit this trend and bounce back up this morning. So I got out of my puts. Let's see, I bought them right in here, and I sold them at 4:15, or it's actually 4:14 and 30 seconds. I sold them before the stop. Where you couldn't sell them anymore. 4:15 is when you can sell SPY. So after that you can't. So I was concerned that we would actually come down and touch this, and then we would bounce up, and then they would be not any good by the time I got up. So I went ahead and sold those. So the people that got into the puts are going to end up doing pretty good today. But remember, you need to, as soon as the bell opens, you need to start getting out of them, because when this market opens, it's going to drop a little more. But how far, I don't know, and there's a good chance that it might even go up. But I think it'll drop more and probably come down to the channel, and then we'll take back off. So all week we're doing consolidation, and the big one is from right here to right here. So we could easily jump up and hit 2657 area, somewhere on through there. We could easily take off and go there. So we could also, keep on going down. Right now, if we look right here, let's see, if we go back to a 30-minute just to get an idea, we're actually in a little bit of a descending triangle. Let's see, right there. So we're in a descending triangle right now. So if we pop up above this trend today, then we're going to break that. If we break over it and hold and keep on going, then this descending triangle is no longer in existence. So right now, this is what we're doing. We're actually going through here. If we open that up. So when we open up, I think, we'll probably, open up and come down to the bottom of this channel, maybe a little bit lower, then come back up. I'm hoping that we actually break this and we can turn back into a bull market. There's a real good chance that this will sell off right here or even right here. So we're opening up, at right here's where we'll open up. So there's a good chance that it might go ahead and sell off right here. But then again, it could easily pop up. A descending triangle is not always bearish, not always. It is the majority of the time, but not always. So if you have puts on it or something, then you may be okay on it. And so anyway, we'll have to see what happens whenever this pops up, or whether it comes across this trend line right here or not. With the way the market is right now, as far as across the world, everybody's shutting down and stuff, there's a lot of fear in America. This could easily drop down. If it does, I don't even have a fib for that. So let's go back to, let's do a weekly, and let's do it this way. Let's go the opposite way that we have. So if we start from the bottom, if you think it's going down, you start from the bottom. So we'll start there, and then we'll come back up to here. try to get that as close as we can. That one's on it. And let's see, that one's on it pretty good too. Okay, so if this actually happens, then our next levels would be down through here. So our first one would be at the 23.24. So let me go back into a 1 hour so we can see this better. Let's see. Okay, so we're looking that 23.17 would be our next one if we drop out to hit that. If we hit that one and don't hold, then we could easily drop down here. The 23.17 is actually going to be the same bottom that we started off in the back. So if we go back to the weekly again, this right here would be your bottom as far as your bottom support. It could easily hit that and then bounce back out. It could even break through. So it really kind of depends on where the market's going. I just don't feel that the government is going to allow this thing to keep on tanking. So my position doesn't really change long term. As far as if you're scalping during the day, then you could use this for that. You've got your MACD down here that is still pointing down on it. Your RSI is showing way oversold. That's on a weekly. I just don't feel that we're going to keep on going with this. Maybe we do, but I just don't think we will because of the way the government is actually stepping up. So be careful about playing your puts and stuff. I think that if you buy long-term calls, I'm thinking I bought a bunch of them in September. So I'm going to start buying more September calls, and that way if we have any, because you can get them cheap. The September calls are just pennies. I mean, it's like buying penny stock. So I'm buying those, and I may not make my money this week, but in the long term, as far as a month, 2 months, 3 months out, then our calls are really going to pay off big, and that's what I'm buying. It's again long term. I don't play things for tomorrow. I play things for a week, month down the road. So my position is still on the bullish sector as far as how I trade. And if you're trading just the overnight swing, good luck with that, because the way these swings are right here is just crazy. I mean, this one right here was 23.51 and went all the way up to 25.39. So you're looking, what, you might as well say 200 points right here that it's actually changed. So if you're playing the dailies, this is going to be hard. As far as trying to swing overnight, because it's hard to tell what's going to happen. I'm hoping that this will actually come down and it'll drop down, hit this 23.78 bottom horizontal line, and then when it hits that, I would like to see it go ahead and break through this ascending triangle and go up and at least get to the trend. If we get up to that trend, then I would say that this trend line is probably going to be broken and gone. But I wouldn't take it away until we actually, if we come down and bounce off the top of it and then come back, then I would say this trend line is a good trend. But I would say that we're going to be in a bullish trend at that time. So we'll have to find out. Today will be the day that we know what's going to happen here. So having the ascending triangle right here, that's a pretty good trend. It's bouncing off really good right there. But we'll have to see what happens here. So again, I'm still kind of bullish on it long term, because all of this is going to happen over the next week, 2 weeks, and then the market's going to rally. As soon as they come out with a cure, which they've already found, they're testing on humans now. So if that happens, that'll be this week, and that will make the market soar. Because as soon as they have a cure for it and they start treating people and it's fine, then they will get everybody back to work. All the businesses will be opened up, and then we should be fine. So that's where I stand with the ES. A lot of differences of opinion. But this is why I believe what I do. The government's already dumped in like $1.5 trillion, and they're starting to do bailouts and things. They do not want it going below this. And if the government doesn't want it going below this, I don't think that they're going to allow it. I think it's just going to keep on going up. So my position long is by the, say, September calls on SPY. And if you buy those, or actually any kind of position, like Boeing, for instance, I've got a pretty good position in Boeing. They've got something like, I think it's like $60 billion in assets, or not assets, but cash in the bank that they can use. So they can weather this out. $60 billion will go a long way. They do more than, you know, commercial airplanes. They do a lot of different stuff. So if you look them up, you'll see that, you know, they're not really dependent on American Airlines or something like that. So that's my position on there. If we go into gold, gold is in a little bit of a channel. Let's see if we go. I had it drawn out on another one. Gold, it's a, or not a channel, but a bear flag. So if we do this right here, go from here to here, and then come back to here. So what I'm thinking is this will come up and just go in here, and there's going to be a bear flag come on down. So this right here I think is going to be the channel for it, and it'll actually turn out pretty good on it. So this will end up coming down quite a bit. So let's see here. If I go, let's see, yeah, that'll go down quite a bit there, and I'd like to see this actually come up and hit one more time, and if it would, that would be pretty good. So if it would, then when it hits here, then come on down and then fulfill that bear flag. Usually you'll get a little more than this out of it, so we'll see. This may just go ahead and keep on coming down right here. And then we have NG. NG started selling off. Again, we went up, hit this channel here, and then it come down and hit here. I'm hoping that this will actually come back up. I actually have some calls in it long, and I'm looking for it to come back, and if we can come back to it. Let's see, this is the channel. It should hit right here and then bounce back up and go. I'm looking long term of going to right here. So over the course of the year, I think it'll end up being here by around July or so. And if we hit that, then I think it'll come back down. So see, we go back into November right here, and if we actually took that to where it went on up to say November, we may hit it right there. November usually it'll go up, but you know last year it just kept on selling off, so it didn't even go by necessarily the report. So based on the trend in this pattern, I'd say that we're at the bottom of it. So I would think that we would probably start going back up with it. If we do, then you know once I see the reversal here or even here, then I'll go ahead and jump back in more calls and ride this on up. So this channel right here is actually holding true so far. So let's see what it does. We'll know today. I mean, this is a daily chart here. So, and it's actually come through and then bounced back up. So, and looking at the MACD and stuff, it looks like it's trying to turn here. The RSI is oversold. So I think that right here is where we will actually be to go ahead and reverse and come back up on it. So we'll have to see what happens today. Today, a lot of things are going to happen. So NQ is in the same thing. It's in the break. It's the exact same pattern as ES. It's selling off right here. So the Qs, you know, I think, you know, short term, you may be fine if we do a trend, like I said, same one as ES, pretty close. So if we bring this one down to here, so we've only got two trends there. I tell you what, let's go back. Let's see here. If we do off of that bear flag that I had, let's see, right here, and then come down to about right there, and then if we have this trend line here, the horizontal, oops, and then we go ahead and add this one in. So see, you're getting to watch making trend lines and patterns and everything while we do it live. So there's where we are with that. So I think the Qs are going to bounce back up. As soon as this opens up today, it'll probably come down, touch that horizontal, then it will come back up. So I think we've got 1 or 2 more days on that one. Then we've got crude oil. Crude oil just keeps selling off. Man, that's just unbelievable. I bought calls on it right here because I thought it would go out, and then it kind of come down. So I thought it would just weather out, but I missed that one. Crude oil is just kept on dropping. So may have to get some puts just to go ahead and cover myself to see how far it goes. and this one looks like it could possibly go down to $15 based on the fibs. So, man, the people are just getting killed on that. We've got this little trend line here, or actually horizontal support based off of the past, and we actually broke through that. I thought we would hit this and then bounce up, but we broke through it. So we'll just have to wait, see what happens here in the next day or so, and see if what they're doing. The government's actually doing things to try to boost the oil back up, to get the prices back up a little bit. So we'll just have to see what happens with that. But anything in the oil industry is just going down right now. As soon as you start seeing the crude oil start going up, then the industry itself, different ones, you'll see it start popping up. So if you're going to buy anything in here, oil's not going to keep on just going down forever. They're not going to allow it. So the government's not. And all the billionaires and everything else trying to get the oil up. So they're just not going to allow it. We're just in a bad market with it. So if you want to get long-term calls and stuff and try to buy them cheap, I think that's where you're going to bank out. You're not going to bank out this week or next week probably. But I think in a matter of like a month from now or longer, that's where you're going to make the money. So you buy your calls on the way down because their premiums are cheap. So buy them there, buy them long, try to go out to September and just hold them. And then whenever the market turns, those premiums are going to skyrocket. And as soon as it turns, your money is going to be green immediately. So that will actually help you out there. So that's a good little tip for you. If you go into the dollar has been going up nonstop. So we're right now, we actually broke through the double top. The double top was right here, and we actually broke through that. But that doesn't mean we won't sell off right here. So if we go ahead and look closer, it actually popped through this morning. If we do a 5-minute, so right here is where the double top was. But this could easily just come right down right here. So be prepared for any of your Forex trading or whichever to make sure that you're following this dollar. I'd like to see this dollar come back down. I mean, we actually topped out today at $100. That is high inflation. We don't want that. We want this dollar to come back down. The Dow Jones closed out here. I know it's already dropped way down. TOS doesn't show the chart, but it's way down. And if we go into American Airlines, American Airlines, I got in some calls back over here. So I'm positive on my calls, but American Airlines is not going to just keep on dropping. The government's actually going to be backing them. That's going to be helping. There is a potential of a bear flag here, but we're not there yet. So to draw it out, we would be, and the only thing we can do is, well, actually, let's say we start up here. If we start up here, so we could probably come down and touch this, and then it's probably going to go up again. So we need to, if this is in fact a bear flag, right now it's not, because right here's your pole, right here's the start of one, but that's not necessarily a bear flag yet. Once it hits here, if it hits this trend and then bounces up and starts going here, we're in a bear flag, and it'll probably sell off more until they get things turned around. They actually want the government bailout money, so they are trying to get their stock to keep on tumbling. If it does, they'll get the bailout money, and it's, they don't have to pay it back the one they're wanting. So this is like free money they're trying to get. We got Apple. Apple is still selling off. Everything is selling off right now, but I think it's just a matter of time. As soon as the government gets together, they're going to, get things turned around, and all the stocks are going to soar overnight. So be careful about what you're buying. Right here, we're at a support there. So we're at a support there. We're right below this fib. And again, I just don't think that they're going to allow this to keep on dropping. We got AMD. AMD actually fell out of this pennant here. So let's see. Go back so we can look at it better. So that one still stands, and then we've got our 618 here. This will probably come down, touches 618 today, and if this is in fact the case, then instead of being a pennant, we are on, Let's see here. If we bring this down to right there, let's just see how this plays out. It's just like before. I've told you all before. Your patterns. You gotta, as you chart out things, your patterns will sometimes change. So we touched right there. Let's see here. That's only 2 touches right there. So that's not even. Until we actually touch that trend again and then drop down, I will not consider this a proper trend. So there's a chance that this is here, but then again, if you take this is more, that's more of a trend line right there. And why I moved it up there and off of this one, as you can see, most everything is working off of this one. So to me, this right here is your trend. It actually came through the 618. With it coming through the 618 and staying above it, there's a good chance it might come down and hit it again, but it looks like it's actually going to go up. So your fib lines are good areas to know probably where it's headed, but it doesn't have to touch it. And by looking at this right here, it looks like to me that this right here would be your support, based off of all this. As 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be the 5th day that this used this as a support. So that's my support. Until we break through that and keep on going, I'll stay there. This one, I can't use that one as a top trend yet because we've only got one area. And the reason I picked this spot here is because I was looking at more candles touching it. So we hit right there, we hit right here, we almost hit there. We could actually probably drop it a little bit more. And if we did that, see, that would pick up that body candle right there. So if we bring this up and then bring it down to right there, I'll show you what I was doing. I picked up this candle. This one actually touched. No, I don't like that one. And the reason I didn't like it is because there wasn't enough touches on it. I believe that this one right here is more. So we've got this one touching. We've got the top of this one and closed right there at it. We got this one bounced off the bottom. This one touched. That one almost touched. So this would be where I'll leave my trend based off of those candles. We got more touching at the same time. The more touches you have, the stronger that trend is. So I would think that today that we're probably going to bounce off of this. We might have another rally this morning. We did have the sell-off all night. So with it happening, and then as soon as that circuit breaker kicks, I think that the stocks will start going up on it. So that's AMD for me. I'm long AMD. Amazon, with all the news that they've had, they're hiring more people, but they did come back and say that they're going to quit shipping out a lot of things. They're going to stay to more like pharmaceutical type stuff, anything to do with that. So a lot of things they are going to stop shipping. But I bought Amazon yesterday. I set the order at night, and as soon as it opened, it dropped and hit it, and then it took off. So I am up on my Amazon, and then I'm going to do it again today. I'm going to buy more Amazon. So Amazon's on my bullish long-term buy. Boeing, I think I've got 40 calls on Boeing. It's just a matter of time before Boeing turns. We still have room to where it can drop. The main support was right here at 28.98. I don't ever see it going to there, but who knows? It might do it today. We never know. Boeing is a huge company, and I'm gonna be long on it. They've got so much money. I think it's around $60 billion or so in it. So I'm gonna stay in it. And then we have Carnival Cruise Lines. They keep on dropping down, and again they're looking for the bailout as well. This could easily go down to $6. It could very easily do it. But as soon as the market turns, this will skyrocket, just like it did whenever they announced the buyout here. Let's see, right there. They announced on TV that they were going to give them money. That was on this day right here. It didn't take. We went over top of the 15, but it didn't take, and then we just started selling off more. So you can still get in puts on that one and play that one out, but long term, I still think your going to be in the long calls. Everything in the market, in my opinion, is long calls. Clorox, I missed the buy on this. I tried to buy it here, it didn't fill, and then look at that. Clorox is going through the roof. You could buy Clorox about any time, and I might hop in it today. I don't know. We hit the 618, so hitting the 618, we might pull back on it a little bit, come back down. We might hit 188. It needs a good pullback in order for more people to get involved on it. If you look back on a weekly, you can see we are at the high. So that 618 is on the weekly high. So, there's a chance you might even be able to get some puts in it because it might sell off a little bit in order to pull back in order to go up again. Don't know for sure what to do on that one, but there's plenty of opportunity there. I'm thinking that with hitting this double, we'll see what happens when we open. If we keep on going, we'll have to readjust our fibs in order to take into account for that, because we're actually at the top of our fibs right now. So I've used this trend here, and then it consolidated, and now we come up. But we need a pullback in order to set a trend from here to there, and to see where it's going. And we could actually do something here, and just to see if it actually works. So if we start from the bottom, because we think it's going to pull back, actually, see, it's going to keep going up. So we're going to start from here to the top. Oops, hit the wrong one. We start there, and we come all the way down to here. So I'm picking up the low, and I'm picking up the high. So what I would estimate is that we might come down and hit this 618 here, which is 181. If we hit it, then we can take off from there. Another way that we could look at this is if we do... If we do this one, we could hit this one for a minor pullback. I'm going to use this one for now. We can use this for a minor pullback because I think it will pull back. So that's 195. A really good support would be the 181.69. That's where I'm thinking that we'll probably pull back to, just because we've had such a huge increase. So if we can pull back to here and then make another run for it, that's what I would end up thinking. That would be my strategy on it. But I wouldn't buy anything just yet. I would wait to see what happens as far as if we break through this. If we break through that fib and make a higher high, then this will not go into play. We'll have to turn it to where the fibs are going up. So that's where I stand with it. You got a little bit of a MACD reversal right here, and that's on a 15-minute. If we look at a 1 hour, a 1 hour looks like it's going to drop down. I think we're just overbought, so I believe that this will be our fib lines we'd want to use. And again, I think we're probably looking at 181. So when it opens, I'll look. I might get into a day trade here and do some puts on it and see what happens. We've got Disney. Disney is selling off. Originally, I thought we were going to go down to the 81.26, but the market turned and started going up. So we still may be going down to the 81.26. So if you're playing puts on that, you might be doing okay on it. There's so much consolidation here that it just makes you wonder what to do. And all week we've consolidated. We actually broke through that bottom, made a new lower low, and it looks like it's not really a channel. It's just a little base right here, but it's actually broke out. So we'll have to see today. There's a lot of things going to happen today. Today will tell the story of a lot of things. Then you have Roku. Looks like Roku took off. It come back down. I may get in a play on Roku today and get something long. It looks like we're pretty close to the bottom. $50 is where I was looking. I've got my alert set for it. So if we can get down to here, that's where I'd like to get in my calls. So if this will open up and drop down, I may go ahead and play some puts on the way down, and then once it gets down here, then go ahead and hop in some calls and then going up. So I think 50.04, that's where I've been saying for a while that I think Roku is going, and I still believe that. I think that today it will probably sell down real quick and then take off. So we'll see on Roku. Roku is actually a pretty good stock to trade. It moves fast. So whenever you get in it, if you're in the right way, you're going to make serious money real fast. Space is still dropping a little bit. we could easily hit the 680. And if we do, then I think that would be our bottom. But again, I think this week is when everything's going to turn. We've got a lot of things shutting down and so forth, but with everything that is coming back now, I believe that we're going to be fine on it. SPY, same as the ES, it's actually bouncing off of this right here. So I believe that, you know, when it opens, we might come down and hit this right, the 235, but I think that it's just going to go right back on up to the 256 range. So this has just been a base right now, or a channel. TLT, when we open up, I plan on, you know, if the market reverses today and starts going up, like I think in that channel, TLT is going to drop quite a bit. I'd like for it to hit 143 is where I'd like to be and get out. I've had puts all the way up here. I sold some yesterday. I sold right at this fib. It actually dropped down below, but I sold right below the fib there. Oops. The reason I sold is they were March 20 calls that expired this Friday, and I was afraid that it would come down and hit and then bounce back up because it had been bouncing through here. And I was afraid it was going to go up, so I sold right there. I could have made more money down here, but, you know, I'm happy with what I got here. It was still, I think it was something like 400% that I made right here, so you can't gripe about that. And then, you know, if I'd have held them overnight, depending on where it opens up today, I could have possibly made more money. I'd made a lot more money if I'd have sold them right here. But I'm okay with where I've sold them. I've got some April puts on it now, and then I'll go ahead and get rid of them today. Then we've got Tesla. Tesla is actually still selling off. I cannot believe that it's down in the 300s. We're like 394 now. I thought that it would be in like the 400 range, but I did not think it would actually drop to here. So the whole market is just a buy opportunity. So if you're into following Tesla and stuff, I mean, the calls, if you could probably buy some long-term calls cheap. I haven't looked in a while, but I say you could. With VIX, VIX was selling off, and then it popped back up. I'm actually up on VIX right now. I was up real good right here, and then we had that market sell-off, so it went on up. So VIX, I'm still holding out on. It's going to be a big play. As soon as that market turns, this is going to drop so hard. So I'm still watching VIX. You could get into the long-term VIX puts right now. I'll probably buy some more today since it's up. And if I can, you know, if the premiums are okay and not jacked up too much, I'll go ahead and get in them. Walmart, what a day yesterday. Our team in our Discord channel, if you're not familiar with our Discord, that's where we do all of our call-outs, charting, all the chats, talking about what we're buying and selling. But Walmart, literally, our team made over $50,000 on this spike right here. It was crazy. I personally made $8,500 on 85 and change that I made on Walmart. So all those calls that I've been talking to y'all about, as far as from way back, which is, see if I got the trend, I started buying back over in here, actually right here. And I started buying in here and just kept on buying it. And we went up and I made a lot of money, or not made, but I could have sold here and made a lot of money, but I held them. It dropped down. And then I kept buying more down here. And by the time we got up here, we sold out, made a lot of money. Today, when this pulls back, which is what I thought it would do, so because everybody was talking about buying more, and I said wait until tomorrow. So Walmart will usually sell off in the morning if it has a big rally. So I'm going to start buying up more Walmart calls over here on the way down, and I'm going to do it right at the opening because when Walmart sells off at the opening, it will usually just spike up. And Walmart has a lot of good news right now, so I'm going to get my calls ready and then go from there. Walmart, I'm long on. I'm long till 132.45 is where I'm thinking. I think when this pull out and then or pull back and then take off, then I might even get in a short-term trade where I can just scalp it today, buy some longer puts for it to go up over the next couple of days, and then do like an intraday trading today. So that's my plan. If we go back to ES, it's still in halt, so we'll have to see on that. We got gold pulled back a little bit, but I think gold's I think it's heading up to here right now, which should actually be pretty good. If you look at your MACD, it looks like it's trying to turn that way. I've got puts on it. I bought a bunch of puts up in here, so if it just keeps on going, I'm fine with that as well. I would like to see it go ahead and come up, a little bit, but it just keeps on selling off right here. So I may get into some shorts and short it some more. I shorted this all night last night. Did pretty good on that, so we'll just have to see what happens with it. Go back into the 5-minute. It's actually, let's see here. Right there, so we might get a little bounce right here. It may keep on selling off right there, so we'll just have to wait and see. But that is our morning brief. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some good plays off from it, and I just hope that you get green today. Join our Facebook group. There's a link in our description below. We post a lot of stuff there. If you're not plugged into our Discord group, that's where the money is. We talk about everything there. And we joke around too. I mean, it's not just business, but we, for the most part, it's probably about 90% trading. And then we got about 10%, we'll just kind of hang out. We got a place called the lobby. In the lobby, we just chit chat about everything. Some people post their food pics and what they're out to do that night, how they spent their money, whichever. But we also have like option chat channel, futures channel, forex channel, penny stock channel. The most active one is the option channel. There's only a few of us doing the futures in there, but for the most part, everybody's doing the options, and it's actually working out really well. People are getting along great. We don't tolerate any drama in there, so you don't have to worry about all that. There's no bashing of other people. There's just some really good people in there. It's almost like a family to us. So as far as getting plugged into that, that's where you're going to make the money, because we post all of our call outs. So everybody knows what everybody's doing, and so as soon as you buy something, you post it in there, right or wrong, you post it, and then we all talk about it. Sometimes you're not sure, like you say, well, where do you think we should get in Amazon? And then we'll all start talking about it, and we talk through this trade before we get in it, and then we decide that if it's a good trade or not. So so far, everybody's making really good money, making good decisions. There's a lot of people shorting stuff as far as like in puts. We're buying put calls, we're buying or a put SPY, and we're buying SPY calls, and we're doing just a lot of different plays in here right now. The market, the way it's moving, is actually making us a lot of money, and as soon as it turns and gets on a steady path of either down or up, that's when we know that we can just buy and hold and just let it go. So the Discord channel has actually worked out real well. There's a link down in the description that explains how to get plugged into that, and where you can actually start making money with us. So if you're interested, do that. The Facebook group is free. You can just go ahead and go to it and get signed up. We don't post a lot there as far as what we're doing. If you want to get in with the good trades, you need to get into the Discord channel. By the time it hits Facebook, we're usually done with that trade. So anyway, I'm going to let you go. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you got anything out there, I would appreciate a good thumbs up, and we will see you tonight. Y'all have a great day, and enjoy your trading day. Go green.